being skinny fat is honestly one of the most frustrating things out there because it feel like the more you try, the worse your problem gets. Like the more cardio you do, the less you eat, the more carbs you cut out, the stricter diet you cop on, and like the more you hit the gym. If you do all these harder things and you do more, the worse your skinny fat problem gets. And there's one simple, very simple reason for that. And that is that just doing more of the wrong things is not going to get you anywhere. It's literally like a fly bashing its head on a window because it literally looks like the way out, and she just bashes and bashes and bashes until she, gets brain damage and dies and whatever. But fitness is a numbers game. And the only real way you can escape the skinny fat hell is not even by doing more, but simply just by following the right numbers, which is exactly what I'll be walking you through in the next couple of minutes. So let's just move into my laptop and show you that back when I was skinny fat, you can look like belly and man boobs and really skinny arms, and I looked fine with the shirt on. But when it came to taking the shirt off, as you can basically see, man boobs, lower belly fat, really skinny arms, which made me look okay with the shirt on, but with the shirt off, it was a total catastrophe. And the thing is, at this point, I was running a lot, I was eating healthy, I was doing 75 hard, which if you don't know what that means, I literally for 75 days straight, which is like 2.5 months, I believe, I trained twice a day, which meant run early in the morning, gym in the afternoon, no cheat meals for 75 days straight, super strict clean diet. As I said, for 2.5 months straight, no pauses. I was eating very little because I believed that, eating less will going to solve my problems. And I was also hitting the gym 5 to 7 times per week. And as you can see, I've done all the hard stuff right here. But despite all of that, I still looked soft. I was skinny fat. And essentially, and the funny thing is that when I got lean and athletic and into a body that I can finally feel comfortable in, I do a lot less now that I look like this. And the approach that got me from here to here is doing less and simpler things than where I was like right here. So at this point right now, the only thing I'm doing is walking. I'm eating actually more, and I will show you why and walk you through the whole like eating more thingy. I eat the foods I love. I don't restrict myself. I don't eat chicken, broccoli, none of that. I hit the gym 4 times per week, but genuinely only because I enjoy it. I could easily do or get the same results in like 2 days, but I genuinely enjoy hitting the gym, which is why I do workouts 4 times per week. And I actually like love my life, and fitness is not something that takes my life away, but it's something that gives me more life, to be fair. I completely love my life, and I am able to live my life to my fullest, enjoy the foods I love, not be weird at birthday parties or at weddings or whatever, where I can't have that. I have, I'm gonna cut, like I'm gonna die, I'm trying to lose fat. Like I don't do any of that. When it comes to that point, I enjoy it because I can, without it ruining my progress, because I follow the right numbers, which, as I said, is something I'll walk you through right here. So as I said, right now I'm completely looking like 180 degrees better, like a complete different person, as you can see, like clean definition, not like super shredded, not like a bodybuilder, but simply a body that I feel comfortable in, that I feel good in, and that I enjoy. And that's probably something that you're after as well if you're watching this video. And so the one thing and the one misconception that I want you to completely forget is that effort alone does not guarantee result. Like literally, like put this into your mind and like repeat it 24/7. Effort alone does not guarantee results, because you're probably training consistently, you're eating kind of healthy, always showing up, but you're still skinny fat because, right, as I was right here, you're not following the right numbers. And so fitness is honestly a numbers game. You don't need motivation, you don't need more discipline, you don't need to work harder, because working harder at like the bad thing and simply doing the same thing without, or doing the same thing while expecting the different results is literally a definition of insanity. I think Einstein, really smart man, put it somehow. I probably butchered, but it goes something along those lines. Basically, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is honestly just a definition of insanity. So that's something like that. That's what Einstein said, basically. So basically, You don't need any of that. You don't need motivation, no discipline, no work harder. You just need the right math. And I know this probably sounds boring, but trust me, this is not boring math. This is actually exciting. And so right numbers equal the right results. And so there are only really like 4 numbers that actually matter when it comes to skinny fat men. So without further ado, let's just walk you through all 4 of these numbers. So number 1 is your protein. You want to be focusing on getting in 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight, or if you're European or you use kilograms, you want to be getting 2.2 grams per kilo basically of your body weight. And so you don't just want to be eating high protein snacks. I completely hate the idea of high protein bars, high protein puddings, high protein, like cream of rice, whatever. I hate that because there was literally a study that said that your body can only absorb 48-ish, I think it was, percent of the protein that you get from, let's say, a protein bar. So that is not a real bioavailable source of protein, and you actually want to be getting your protein from real foods that are super bioavailable. Like, for example, the most bioavailable source of protein on the whole planet, whatever, is steak. Doesn't matter what kind of steak overall, but you also can be eating ground beef, chicken, ground turkey, turkey meat, fish, egg whites, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, you name it. And there's in and on itself, there's not necessarily a huge problem when it comes to, having these high protein bars and high protein puddings, etc. But you can, I always allow my clients to eat them because they're, I feel like they're a nice snack. Rather than having, a chocolate bar, they literally have a protein bar. That's kind of a smart way to, handle those cravings, but still, I would not rely on those as your main source of protein, especially because they're not that bioavailable. Because let's say the average protein bar has let's say 20 grams of protein. So since your body can only absorb 48% of that protein, you're not even getting 10 grams of protein from a 20 gram of protein bar. So that is definitely something that can be sabotaging your progress, because even though you might think you're eating high protein, you're not really doing that. So actually make sure you get 1 gram per pound of your body weight, or 2.2 grams per kilogram of your body weight as a skinny fat man. And actually make sure you track this thing. In MyFitnessPal, whatever tracking app you want to use, actually want to be using these. As I said, fitness and getting lean is a numbers game, and you cannot improve your numbers game if you don't have the right data. And you don't have the right data if you're not tracking. Simple. And so, for example, if you weigh, 170 pounds, you want to be eating 170 grams of protein every single day, and that's 35 to 40 grams of protein per meal, which is super easily doable. Like, for example, for breakfast, you can have 3 whole eggs, 4 egg whites, 2 slices of, let's say turkey bacon, and maybe some feta cheese on top crumbled. That's already 40 grams of protein, and you're good. That's a simple breakfast. It's low calorie, it's simple to make, it's high protein. And literally, that's easy how it is, or that's how easy it is to hit 35 to 40 grams of protein per meal if you eat 4 times per day. It's really simple, as I said. And so this one number, your protein, ensures you're building muscle while losing fat, because that's how we build that lean athletic body as a skinny fat man. So having number 1 protein out of the way, we want to be moving into number 2, and this sounds really weird, but yeah, number 2, and that is your training frequency. So instead of, training 7 days out of the week because you think that more is better, you only want to be training, depending on how busy you are, 3 to 4 times per week. And this is really important, with progressive overload. You don't need to train more to get better results. You need to train better to get better results, obviously. And so training 3 to 4 times per week helps you maximize muscle growth, minimizes burnout, and allows you to, fully recover. And you probably hear my dog in the background, so please ignore him. But yeah, to kind of get back to this. Now, just showing up to the gym is not enough, because as I said, you don't want to be hitting the gym only 7 times per week, because showing up or just hitting the gym is not going to get you results. Actually training, not just showing up, is going to get you results. You need this system for progression. So what you need is progressive overload 3 to 4 times per week. So either add reps or weight every single session. And there's one really, really awesome method that I have been using and I'm getting all my clients on, and it's called double progression method. And the way this works is that we always want to be focusing on compound movements, so that basically you don't need to spend hours at the gym, because let's say if you do bench press, you target your chest, but you also target your tricep. That means you don't need to do any crazy tricep exercises, right? But those are basically those like multi-body part movements that simply involve more parts of your body, which is why they're like the best ROI exercises for you as a skinny fat man if you don't want to spend like hours at the gym, right? So let's say we want to, work on a bench press. So let's say, first of all, the first kind of step is that you want to pick a weight that you can lift for 4 reps and 3 sets, because we will be working in a 4 to 6 rep range and 3 sets always with these compound movements. And so let's say you pick 100 pounds. So week number 1, you hit 444. Week number 2, you hit, let's say, 544. Week number 3, you hit 555. And then let's say week number 4, you finally hit like 666. That is basically, this means that you have maxed out your rep range. And that means that now, step number 2, we will be moving 5 pounds up. And this is how we progressively overload every single week, either by adding weight or reps. And this is the simplest, easiest, best method to use that. So definitely steal that from me. So now that we have these 2 really important numbers out of the way, which is protein, hitting 1 gram of protein or 2.2 grams per kilo or per pound, and training frequency, basically 3 to 4 times per week with progressive overload, we want to move on to number 3, and that is your daily steps. So the absolute goal you should be hitting is 7 to 10K steps every single day. That's the goal. And so you don't need to obsess over cardio. You simply, all you need to do is move more throughout your days and outside of your normal/formal workouts. Because honestly, walking is the best way to do that, because you can easily build it into your day. Like when it comes to running, for example, you cannot just build it into your day or around your day. You actually need to take time off of your day to go for a run or go on a treadmill or go do the Stairmaster, whatever. When it comes to walking, you don't need to do any of that. You can literally build it into your day. That is by, let's say, parking further away from your office, or when it comes to, grocery shopping, just park further away from the store. Or let's say instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs, or like whatever. You can find these small ways, just move more around your day. When you're cooking, walk around the kitchen, in between your sets at the gym, walk around, the gym. And that's literally the best way you can build steps into your day. And it's also low stress on the body rather than running, and you don't burn muscle like with running. So take the stairs, as I said, park further away, build step generating activities like these into your day. So that was number 3. And the last and the absolute really important number that, skinny fat men need to follow, because if you don't follow this number 4, none of this will honestly matter. You will get some results, but you will not get that lean athletic physique as fast as you could if you just implement this number 4. So, and this number is calorie deficit. So you want to be eating 200 to 300 calories below your maintenance. Just eating less food won't cut it, because, for example, to give you an example in a comparison, a small amount of walnuts, which is like literally a small handful, which looks like small foodie as I'm eating less, is actually 300 calories. But if you look at a huge bowl of potatoes, I will even pop a picture up here somewhere, that is 250 calories. And literally compare this and this. Look at how huge this is and look at how small this is. And this is more calories than this, which is why eating less food in and of itself is not working. You don't need to eat less food, you need to eat less calories. And that can be easily done by eating these high volume, low calorie foods like blueberries or potatoes or, lettuce, or these watery, let's say watermelon, classic melon, whatever. You can build this into your days. You can eat more food while eating less calories. That is meaning that literally, I might even pop a picture up somewhere of the Big Mac salad that I have made the other day. It was this huge, honestly. And it was less calories than my typical ground beef and rice, which is honestly just wild. So as I said, just eating less food won't cut it for you at all. And so actually make sure you track your food and stay within that small deficit. Because again, if you want to get in shape, you need to follow the right numbers. If you want to follow the right numbers, you want data. And if you want to have the right data, you need to, track your stuff. And you also want to track your, training frequency when it comes to your training, the way you're lifting, etc. You either want to, keep it when it comes to this training frequency. You want to either have an open notes app on your phone and pop it up there. But the easiest way you can simply do this is by downloading an app called, I use it, and this is not sponsored or anything. It's called Heavy. This is how it looked like the logo and everything, and actually just log your workouts in there. And when it comes to tracking your calories, just track your calories in MyFitnessPal, because that is probably like the most like well-known and like the easiest to use app out there. So actually make sure you track your food and stay within this small deficit while hitting your protein, while hitting your steps, and while hitting your training numbers, because that's how you lose fat and build muscle at the same time. And it's also super sustainable, which is all you need to get lean and athletic. And having number 4 out of the way as well, these are all the numbers that you need. So to kind of like recap: protein, 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight; training frequency 3 to 4 times per week with progressive overload using the double progression method; daily steps, daily steps, 7 to 10K steps every single day. Just build step generated activities into your day; and calorie deficit, just 200 to 300 calories below your that maintenance basically. And your maintenance, you can calculate it by taking your body weight in pounds times 14 minus 2 to 300. I would honestly recommend you 300, and you're good. Like, you're completely good. So having all of this out of the way, if this video helped, make sure to definitely hit the like. If you have any questions, definitely comment. I'll get back to you ASAP. And if you want to see more videos just like this, you can connect with me on Instagram, because I post daily tactical advice for skinny fat men who want to get to that lean athletic body. And you can also subscribe to me right here on YouTube, because I post stuff like this weekly. So that being said, and having everything out of the way, I hope this helped, and peace out.